Sector News hits South Africa through the shores of KwaZulu-Natal, with each sector's delivery of the most basic and crucial information whose knowledge brings the people to the government to the people, one person to another, for better cohesion and prosperity. We come at you Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 a.m. on 1KZN TV. Civil Society Sector News, Dr. Hlajwayo of Ubumbano Lokuthula organization in Durban took to the CR SWAT to lay a charge against the minister Pravin Gordhan, and they claim that the charges are to do with corruption, aimed at exposing corruption rather, and these individuals believe that this is a case that the government needs to take seriously and prosecution must come the way of the minister. Well, let's have a look at this clip.
Dr. Andile Hlajwayo, the chairperson of Ubumbano Lokuthula organization, was at the CR SWAT police station where they laid charges against Mr. Pravin Gordhan. They have a document that entitles a criminal act that Mr. Pravin Gordhan was part of when he was still a commissioner.
We therefore came to open the case, and actually the case has been opened against him, and we are waiting for the investigations, which we know that what we have will be then used against him so that justice can be served. And furthermore, this is not the only case that we have as an organization. We've also laid a complaint against the public Department of Arts and Culture, the Department of Public Works as well, about the Royal Nyogeni Royal Palace, where there's an incomplete structure of the amphitheater there, and then an amount of money that was given as a budget of the department was about 130 million rand, which up to now it's not yet completed, but it's been 5 years. So this is a disgrace to the Zulu monarchy, which we know and which we see that it's actually in the campaign of degrading the cultural activity that usually takes place on a yearly basis in Enyogeni Royal Palace.
He further explained the time frame they have set for this case to be investigated.
With the unity within our organization, we have a unit of advocates and the lawyers. We therefore they have to actually ensure that the SAPS, they do their work. However, where there's going to be a system which will actually propel the SAPS, that they must do the investigations. And as I'm saying to you, we are expecting that in not less than 6 months there should be an outcome of the investigations, which will therefore give a way to say that Mr. Pravin Gordhan should be arrested because he's not fit to hold the public office, and he has used and abused the state organs to actually fulfill and do his own thing.
Bahlengiwe Mngomezulu, reporting for Civil Society Sector News, Connect World TV, Durban. The Department of Transport, regulated under the Transport Act under the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, 1996, as a public body, exists to ensure the following among others: the provision of road infrastructure and maintenance, road traffic enforcement, safety and education in the sphere of road, rail, marine, and aviation. In order for the Department of Transport to fully enforce its mandate, it requires the complete cooperation of road users and community at large. Some of the ways in which the people can work with the Department of Transport is to cooperate through adherence to its relevant policies, report any infrastructural, operational, and social problems. In relations to more news on motoring and transport, tune into your stop of preference, Connect World TV, #ConnectWorldTV, #ConnectWorldTV Sector News on all social media platforms.
We bring you Sports, Arts and Culture and the sport element of it through AfriSam saw the under 15 primary school kids engage in sports, and they spread the love in this particular community of Pietermaritzburg. Let's have a look at the story. It was absolutely awesome to see a corporate spreading the love and the kids compete against each other. Turnout was quite good. Let's have a look. AfriSam, the global leading specialist in the supply of quality construction materials and technical solutions, continues to penetrate communities' heartbeat through the delivery of empowering and charitable deeds. Senzi Mabaso Kamajozi, the company's ESD professional for community development, speaks to us about the empowerment of the young through inculcating a culture of sport as a fitness and career path. She also continues to elaborate for us on other programs embarked on.
AfriSam has done a lot of projects since, I don't remember, but it's been a while. We started at Honeyville with the community hall. We did Umsilinga School, a community hall, a school hall there, and then we did Panorama Primary School where we did a computer lab and a science lab. And we've done ad hoc projects there and there, which is enterprise and supply development, where we have our suppliers now. They've graduated from being EDs to SDs. They have their own companies, the likes of Sakum Noto, Sandles Nane. They're working for us now. And then the projects that are in the pipeline, we have a youth center with the library that will be doing at Copsville area.
The national policy conscious brand, and with reference to the mining rights and community inclusion, reinvests in communities. AfriSam's construction material specialist Avi Bura elaborates. Primary school children from around Pietermaritzburg spectated the under 15 teams and Cassia Gulu for Sports, Arts and Culture Sector News, Connect World TV, Durban.
The Department of Science and Technology seeks to boost socio-economic development in South Africa through research and innovation. To achieve its goals, the department provides learnership, enabling environments, and resources for science, technology, and innovation. Through its programs and several entities that work alongside it, the department is accomplishing groundbreaking science and enhancing the well-being of South Africans. The community can work together with the department by finding out about opportunities that are funded by the government heading towards the 4th Industrial Revolution. The community can also assist the department by letting them know about failures of systems that have been introduced by the department. Should you need any more information, call the Department of Science and Technology on the numbers on screen. For more science and technology sector news, tune out to your preference stop, Connect World Sector News, hashtag Connect World Sector News on all social media platforms.
First of its kind dose of sector news hits South Africa through the shores of KwaZulu-Natal, with each sector's delivery of the most basic and crucial information whose knowledge brings the people to the government to the people, one person to another, for better cohesion and prosperity. We come at you Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 a.m. on 1KZN TV. and trends sector news today, we see a lot of chatting and trending. You know, social media is very interesting. You find the most quiet people, most introverted people, very vocal online. I suppose it's because nobody's really looking at them. They look at the picture and the words and they just answer you right back. Well, people had a lot to say, have a lot to say about the Democratic Alliance and the resignation of Mmusi Maimane. Dysfunction and leadership vacuum within the Democratic Alliance chats trend with confusion following the resignation of both party leader Mmusi Maimane and federal chairperson Ethel Trollip at the DA meeting held on the 23rd in Bruma, Johannesburg. These resignations come following the weekend which saw the election of Helen Zille as chairperson of the party's federal council, replacing James Salphy. Resignation by Mmusi also meant the end of party chief whip John Steenhuisen. However, there are suggestions that he might in fact elevate to the position of parliamentary leader. The DA will now implement the following remedies. Within the following week, nominate interim party leader and chairperson. Further plan an elective Congress within 6 months. According to Helen Zille, the party's constitution stipulates that in the event of no leader, the chairperson temporarily becomes the party leader. Well, South Africans have remained very vocal on social media, including former DA turned good Patricia de Lille, saying, "I told you so. What goes around comes around, Mmusi." Uzam on social media says the DA is well on its path of self-destruction and let's not disturb them. Naledi says perhaps the DA is not the vehicle to pursue the vision of a united South Africa. Somehow, I have sympathy for this guy. He tried his best. Speaking to members of the media, Mmusi Maimane in his departing speech had this to say.
I'm not a career politician. And I've never sought to be one. I've always been driven by a vision to, in fact, build a united, prosperous, and reconciled South Africa where all citizens have a fair shot in life, where the color of your skin does not determine your future prospects. In order to do so, it was always crucial that the DA evolved and transformed into a party for all South Africans can call home. A truly South African party at the center of politics. I've relentlessly sought to grow the party to all South Africans, and more specifically, Black South Africans. If you're going to be a party of national government, you need to challenge and grow amongst all citizens. I indeed fundamentally believed that if the DA was to become a party of government, it needed to look, it needed to feel, and it needed to be a home and a place that would belong to all South Africans. And it's no secret that, in fact, the DA in its own history has been seen as a party for minorities. That the majority of South Africans, mainly Black South Africans, did not relate to the DA and by extension struggled to trust the DA. This was not the fault of one person, it's the history, it's the context of our politics, it's the context of our nation. And equally so, rather a consequence of the historic journey of the DA and its predecessor parties. However, this needed to change and it required deliberate action. We began to campaign in many communities, specifically in Black communities, to spearhead growth. And I truly enjoyed being a part of that journey and leading that charge. We changed the internal focus of the organization towards grassroots activism and engaged ourselves in communities and established branches in a new terrain. Activists came on board. They were inspired. We were having manifesto launches in stadia, and I'll never forget that actually for many South Africans, they felt a sense of ownership and a sense of momentum. Bahatu, in 2016, I think it was a momentous occasion. We, together with so many, made history. And the DA, in fact, removed the ANC from government from the country's largest cities. We formed coalition governments in Joburg, in Tshwane, in Nelson Mandela Bay. We worked hard to restore, in fact, the dignity of the poor, to fight like anything to be able to give South Africans who are unemployed a sense of hope through an intense focus on job creation and service delivery. I think for South Africa, this was a watershed moment, and certainly it was for the party. We more than doubled our governance footprint from 6.5 million citizens to almost 16 million South Africans. We're now living under DA-led governments. Forming these DA governments obviously was crucial to our project and a vital step towards building that trust with South Africans who were by and large skeptical of the DA. I maintain it was the correct decision to form those governments. I've never been more proud of the fact that the city I grew up in under apartheid became a city that now was governed by a DA in a new South African party. We worked hard to make sure that ultimately we could see people for that first and foremost they were South Africans. And I'm grateful for the work that so many worked tirelessly, so many activists, so many South Africans to bring about change in those cities. Despite complex and intricate coalition arrangements. Since its formation, the DA has been seen, perhaps maybe by others, as a regional party, with its political power base and administration and organizational headquarters situated in Cape Town. I argued and still maintain that it's right that the DA needed to move up to here, Mojozi.
Here are the top 8 most influential unions and political parties in South Africa. The role of unions and political parties is to ensure the welfare of its members, protecting the reliability of their trade, and to advocate for the needs of the community. You can get to be a member of any political party or trade union of your choice by simply visiting an office of that particular organization anywhere near you. For more news relating to politics and union sector news, tune on to your preference stop, Connect World Sector News, and hashtag Connect World Sector News on all social media platforms.
We are still with you right here on Chats and Trends Sector News as we see Virginia Kwabe and her twin who formed the top 6 of Idol season 15 take to their father, relate to their father some really disturbing occurrences that take place internally during Idols. And of course, these ladies are not supposed to speak to the media as they sign a non-disclosure, non-circumvention contract that comes with participating on Idols. So let us hear him relay what his daughters are concerned about or what they had to say to him.
Ufonisa abantu abambalwa lapho ubuza ukuthi akaze beyithole lonto belalele ukukhulunywa ijaji elithile lisho ukuthi mhlambe emveni kwalapho sejajile wathi uyacula omunye wathi lenyanya uma igijima ebheka le egijima ebheka le noyikwati yayinyanya nje lemcula abawuculayo esevele wanyanya nje yonke into. Semuntu wabona ukuthi manje laba bantu bahamba kanjani, wazokhipha lo behlale bemgxeka bethi akenzi kahle, washiya lo behlale bethi uyena ohlale ehamba phambili. So just nje kunezinto eziningi bekufanele ukuthi umzansi lapha ya ukuthi uyilandele ubuke ukuthi uzenzela njani. Kodwa bengifoneleke nami bengidonsa ukuthi angifune ukuthi ngikhulume izinto ezingafanele bathi bazofika sizoxoxa nabo. Msalindele ukuthi mhlambe kwenzakalani.
Well, that was that. We certainly will be following that story again and relate to you all of these stories as they develop further. You know that it is absolutely a joy for me on behalf of Connector TV and the team here in the studio who pack this lovely show for you every single day to ensure that we keep you in touch with all that is happening in the community, all the best that we possibly can. Anyhow, please do ensure that you go online, like our pages, follow us. We are Connect World TV. Let us know the stories you'd like us to track for you. We are here at your service. Thank you so much for having viewed this particular edition. Watch out for us online and on this particular channel as we come your way at 7 a.m. every Thursdays and Tuesdays. I thank you for having viewed us. Good morning, South Africa.